Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something that is so deeply personal and universally understood, but honestly, we rarely take a close look at it. We're exploring the unconditional bond between humans and dogs, and the actual, hard science behind why they love us so incredibly much. Let's get right into it.
Picture this. You step out of the house. Maybe you're just grabbing the mail, or maybe you're leaving for a long day at work. But no matter how long you've been gone, even if it's literally been 5 minutes, when you return, there they are. Have you ever wondered why your dog waits at the door every single day? It's this universal experience for dog owners. You pull into the driveway, and you can already see that tail just going a mile a minute through the window. It really feels like they've just hit pause on their entire life, just waiting for you to come back.
Now, for a long time, people thought this was just a simple, conditioned habit. But science tells us a completely different and honestly, a much more beautiful story. What if I told you that your dog doesn't just recognize you, they actually miss you? And I don't mean in some vague, instinctual way. Researchers have discovered that dogs miss us in a way that is surprisingly similar to how we miss our own human loved ones. Scientists have studied this bond for years, and what they've uncovered, it completely flips how we should look at our four-legged friends. They aren't just pets waiting around for their next meal. They're these deeply emotional companions experiencing a genuine longing just for your presence.
Part 1. The Science of Dog Love. The Biology of Affection.
So the secret here actually lies in some very specific chemistry happening right inside your dog's brain. When your dog sees you, their brain releases a hormone called oxytocin. Now, you might have heard this called the love hormone. It's actually the exact same chemical that helps human parents bond with their newborn babies. It is the absolute chemical foundation of love and attachment. That means every single time your dog looks into your eyes, every time they cuddle up next to you on the couch or come bounding toward you across the park, their brain is actively experiencing these profound feelings of trust, comfort, and connection. It's not just a trained behavior, it's quite literally biological love.
But here's something even more incredible. Have you ever noticed your dog waiting by the door right before you actually arrive? Almost like they have a sixth sense? Well, it isn't magic. Researchers found out that dogs can predict your arrival by analyzing these microscopic details we don't even think about. They actually learn the specific pitch of your exact car engine. They recognize the unique rhythm of your footsteps. They can even pick up your scent on the breeze, and they rely on this incredibly accurate internal clock that memorizes your daily routine. So long before you even touch that front doorknob, they already know, for sure, that you're coming home.
Part 2. Sensing your every emotion. The empathy connection.
You have to remember, to your dog, you aren't just the person who opens the food bag. You are their entire world. And because of that, they are constantly tuned into your emotional frequency. It's like dogs act as this empathetic mirror to our internal lives. When you're happy, they feed off that energy. They become visibly excited, bouncing around, wagging their tails. But when you're sad, they change their entire demeanor. You've probably seen this. Many dogs will just walk over, quietly sit beside you, maybe rest their head on your knee without making a single sound. They know exactly how to adjust their behavior to match whatever you need in that moment.
And it goes even deeper than just, reading the room. Some absolutely fascinating studies show that dogs can actually sense stress in human body language. But it's not just visual, it's olfactory. They can literally smell the tiny chemical changes that happen in our bodies when we start getting anxious. When our stress hormones spike, our dogs know it before anyone else in the room does. Actually, scratch that. They probably know it before we even realize we're stressed. That's exactly why so many people say their dog always seems to know when something is wrong. Because, as the research proves, they are almost always right.
Part 3. From wolves to companions. The evolutionary journey.
So this brings up a question that kind of stops you in your tracks when you really think about it. If you picture a fierce, independent wild wolf, and then you look at a golden retriever sleeping on its back on your living room rug, you really have to ask yourself, why did wolves become dogs in the first place? Like, what sparked this massive transformation?
Well, it definitely wasn't an overnight change. Thousands of years ago, some of the friendliest, least aggressive wolves made this incredibly bold choice to start living closer to human settlements, and they survived and thrived because humans actually began sharing food with them. Over time, generation after generation, this mutual relationship completely altered their evolution. They adapted to read our cues, to work right alongside us, and to bond with us. Eventually, they became the incredibly loyal companions we know today. So our histories haven't just been running parallel, they've been deeply intertwined for thousands of years.
Part 4. The ultimate unconditional bond. Pure loyalty.
I want you to really let this sink in.
We live in a world that is so often complicated by appearances and expectations, right? But your dog? They represent something entirely pure. They absolutely do not care how expensive your clothes are, or if you have some prestigious job, or even if you're totally struggling to find your way in life.
They don't care about your money, they don't care about your bank account, your social status, all those things that we humans spend so much time stressing over, they mean absolutely zero to your dog.
Because at the end of the day, your dog only cares about one single thing: your safety. They just care that you are okay and that you come home to them. That is a kind of unfiltered, unconditional loyalty that is just incredibly hard to find anywhere else in the natural world. It is purely unselfish love.
Which leaves us with this final, really beautiful thought. The next time you pull into your driveway and you turn the key in the lock and your dog greets you with that wildly wagging tail, I want you to remember this. You are walking back into the most important moment of your dog's entire day. To them, your return is literally everything. But it leaves us with kind of a deeper question to ponder, doesn't it? If a species completely different from our own can evolve to offer us this incredible level of unconditional empathy and pure love, what does that teach us about how we should be treating each other? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Until next time.